so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love St. Augustine slash, the St. John's community. I'm super excited to have my guest Amy with us today. Amy, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Macy. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, well, this will be a lot of fun because Amy is one of those people who just this is really our first time like talking. But 3 minutes in and I feel like my energy has skyrocketed to the moon already. So I'm excited to keep going on this train. So Amy, again, thank you for the time. I really appreciate it. Amy and I met through our networking here in BNI and everything that we're doing in Northeast Florida to kind of connect and see how we can help each other. So Amy, I'll let you kind of take it away. And why don't you kick us off and tell us a little bit about your journey about being in St. John's and coming to St. John's?
Sure. Thank you, Macy. So I moved to Florida 24 years ago with my little children. They were 8 years old at that time. They're much older now. Uh, Moved to the area 100% sight unseen. Always knew I wanted to live in Florida. Opportunity came up to make that happen. So packed up the kids, moved here with a hope and a dream, knowing that the area did have, good business, all those great things. It was vibrant and it just felt like home. So we moved here, continued my journey in human resources. This area has allowed me to grow personally and professionally while building relationships within this amazing community.
That's amazing. And there's a really, really great part about that. Is recently I've been traveling a little bit, right? And I've met a lot of people from different places as well. And I've always felt really grateful of living in Florida for the past 2 years. Like I'm still pretty new to Florida. But every single time I talk to someone, I'm like, wow, I feel like I really live in such an amazing area. Like, we live in such a nice tucked in corner of Florida as well, I feel. So it's amazing that you were finally able to kind of come over here and you really enjoyed it since.
It's definitely home. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's home, it's paradise, it's
Yeah.
vacation, it's everything rolled into one. You can't go wrong. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about your journey with human resources and being in that field, because I feel like that's a field we all know the term, but I don't think a lot of us really understand what it entails.
Absolutely. So a little over 30 years ago, I was looking to do something, some sort of work. I walked into a staffing agency. Within 3 months, I was running that staffing agency and really just grew with the HR processes throughout. During my 30-year career, I've worked for the government sector for about 15 years, a little bit of time in finance, and then I did almost 8 years working for a railroad, which allowed me the opportunity to travel throughout the US and work in many different sectors with unions, non-unions, all sorts of great stuff. About a year ago, I decided it was time to quit working 80 hours a week for somebody else and give it a try. So Purciarele group was formed, obviously based on my last name. And the group, right now is primarily me. I have an intern that helps me out with my social media, my marketing. And then I have a few as needed folks. But really, it's to help businesses succeed.
Mm.
A lot of people hear HR, they think, oh, it's the principal, they run the other way, right? So for me, HR really should be a positive impact, not only on that business owner, but the employees as well. So let's get some good policies together, processes, do evaluations, do training. And that's what my company provides. So we work with those companies 2 to 200. They maybe have been in business for 10 years, maybe for 10 months, but they now realize, hey, we need to get on that professional level, have policies and handbooks, have somebody that come in fractional, or we just need a letter, all those things. And that's really what we do, is to help, make sure those companies are up to date with ever-changing compliance regulations, all of that. With 30 years experience, I still have the same passion in HR as I did in the beginning. So,
Yeah.
it's like we're here to take that headache out.
Mhm.
I love HR, so you don't have to, sort of perspective, right? Like Nobody wakes up and says, ooh, I hope I get to write a policy today. I do. So that, that's sort of what's a little bit unique about my journey and maybe what sets us apart. We offer complimentary consultations. We want to do this 360 review. So I'm not saying, here's what you need to do,
Mhm.
but here's what we can do together
Yeah, that's
to strengthen.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah, like I was saying, like I think it's easy for a lot of people, and you were saying as well, to hear the word or term HR and go, oh, it's the principal or it's someone who's ready to get me in trouble. But obviously, what HR stands for is human resources, right? It's really just to help us connect with each other better, to work better with each other, right? And that's really, really what you want to help other businesses and other companies just expand in that area, because it's so
absolutely.
special when you're able to form these types of connections with the people that you see every single day and the
Right?
people you talk
Exactly.
to every single
Yeah.
day. It's really, really great. And it's awesome. You've had a passion for it for over 30 years or around 30 years. That's it's amazing. Is there any tidbit you have or anything that you've just really grown to love that you didn't really realize you were going to love in the beginning?
It's really the policies and procedures. Because if you have a solid policy, like
Mm-hmm.
what can go wrong? Things still can, don't get me wrong, right? But you can refer back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob, the employee, never shows up on time. Now you have an attendance policy. Hey, Bob, here's the policy. What's going on? And then you can go through those progressive steps. Hopefully, Bob becomes the best employee you've ever had. Or maybe Bob doesn't, and now we
Mm-hmm.
need to sever ties. But those policies help create that really good atmosphere. So employees know what to expect, the business knows what to expect as well.
Yeah. And I mean, specifically for me, I really love knowing what is expected of me when it comes to
Right.
certain things like that. Because my brain just feels so much better when it comes to like a structure. And it's like, hey, even if it hurts sometimes, like it's more anxiety inducing for me when I know I've broken a rule, but at least I know there's a rule that I did break instead of I just keep on doing it. I don't even realize what's going on. And then it's also gives the business power and communication of, hey, this is what was expected and it's not happening, and maybe this is not the right environment, and that just
Exactly.
happens.
Yes,
But communication is so powerful when it comes to that.
absolutely. Yes.
That's so cool. I think you're probably one of the first to say that their favorite thing in the world is a policy. But I completely agree with you. So you're not alone in that. But I think this is really great to learn. Is there any like quick tip before we wrap up that you would give to anyone, um, any businesses who are looking to maybe who might need your help when it comes to human resources or HR or any HR groups out there that might be needing some of your expertise as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Macy. So really the biggest tip is reach out for help before things go sideways. We can, help create things that stabilize your workforce, that make things easier, better for you and those employees as well. Have a solid checklist on hand so you know if I'm onboarding somebody or disciplining somebody, check, 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 all the bases are covered. So I think, those really are the biggest things. Reach out before it goes sideways. Look, reach out after it goes sideways too, but preferably before, and have those solid checklists on hand to help you and that employee move through.
Yeah, checklists are the best. I swear by them.
Yeah,
I make a checklist when I make my coffee every morning, you know. You
that's awesome.
need having things like that in front of me is perfect. So, Amy, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing a few minutes of your expertise and your story. This has been really, really great to learn and hear. And for me, this was a really fun topic. I don't know about other people, but I think this is really great. So, I appreciate your time today, Amy.
Thank you so much, Macy. I appreciate your time as well.
Of course, and I'll have all of Amy's information in the description / show notes. So if people want to click, reach out, learn a little bit more about what she's doing, you can definitely do that. So again, thank you, Amy, for your time. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.